we're going to take a look at the book of Daniel, one of the most incredible books in all of Scripture, through a very contemporary lens. Now, before we begin, I want to invite you to come along with me on this journey. As we walk through the book of Daniel, I want to ask you to think about how the circumstances of Daniel and his friends, as well as other characters throughout the book, might relate to you today. Because let's face it, life in the 21st century can be tough, right? And sometimes it feels like the odds are stacked against us, just like they were stacked against Daniel and his friends. So as we go through this, I want to invite you to consider how the story of Daniel and Babylon might actually have something to say to us today. Now, if you never read the book of Daniel, or it's been a while since you read it, let me give you a quick overview. Daniel is a young Jewish man who, along with his 3 friends, was taken captive to Babylon during the time of the Babylonian Empire. And they were taken there as young teenagers, probably around the age of 16 or 17 years old. And they were taken into the empire and they were forced to learn the language, culture, history, religion, everything of the Babylonians. And they were told that if they didn't renounce their faith in Yahweh, the God of Israel, and turn and worship the gods of Babylon, they would be put to death. So now, imagine for a second what it would be like to be in that situation. On the one hand, you have the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of your parents, the God of your heritage, the God that you've known your whole life. And then, on the other hand, you have the wrath of one of the most powerful empires in the ancient world, an empire that was known for its brutality and its mercilessness. And they're saying to you, if you don't turn from the God of your fathers and worship our gods, you're going to be killed. What would you do in that situation? How would you respond? Well, the book of Daniel tells us that Daniel and his friends chose to remain faithful to God despite the immense pressure and the threats that they faced. And as we continue on in this series, we're going to see how their faith not only survived, but thrived in the midst of one of the most wicked and oppressive empires in history. So I hope that as we walk through this, you'll be challenged and encouraged by the faithfulness of Daniel and his friends, and that you'll also be inspired to remain steadfast in your own faith no matter what the cost may be. So join me every week as we unpack the timeless truths of the book of Daniel and discover how its message is just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And be sure to share your thoughts and comments below, because we do love to hear how this message is impacting you. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through the book of Daniel. I'll see you next time.